Neptune was a very popular creator back in 2014. He made many universally known levels such as Deadly Clipstep and Toe2 V2. He specifically made many very difficult levels for the time. For example, Deadly Clipstep, which was probably the hardest level around back when he uploaded it. Same goes for Necropolis, another one of his levels. But you see, you actually have to verify a level in order to upload it, at least in theory, right? Well, this wasn't as big of a concern back in 2014, as there wasn't any very well known way to hack verify. So if you uploaded a level, people believed that you probably did it legit. However, this wasn't enough for old Neptune, and he actually uploaded verification videos. Due to this, he actually ended up screwing himself, as people found things within them later that are quite suspicious. Most notably his Necropolis verification, in which there are multiple points where you can see cuts. A cut is when someone puts together two clips to make it look like one. For example, if you get 65% on a level, and then you get 64 to 100, and put them together in an editing software as if it is 0 to 100, this is a cut. If it is done well, it is practically unnoticeable, but there was a reason that Neptune's cuts were noticed. For example, in this section of Necropolis, there are saws. Now you can choose which way they rotate, but back when this level came out, you couldn't, and it was chosen at random. Because of this, when Neptune cut the video, the saws changed directions, making it much more noticeable. There are other things similar to this, such as the background changing positions, as you couldn't make custom backgrounds then either. Someone that you most likely already know about is Cyclic. He hacked back in 2015 to claim to be the first victor of Cataclysm, and he hack verified many levels, such as most famously Sonic Wave. He was infamous as he was well known to rival the greatest player back in 2015, Riot, by hacking. His first major hacked completion was Cataclysm. This was a hacked verification, technically, that was big in the community in 2015 due to Cataclysm's sheer difficulty, and there were a lot of badly hacked completions that were caught immediately. But the way Cyclic did it was so convincing that RobTop himself congratulated him. Let's time skip to Riot verifying Bloodbath.
Oh my god!
A new era of difficult. Of course, as is well known, Cyclic rushed to verify his own number one demon to dethrone Bloodbath. He infamously ends up creating Sonic Wave, a level far harder than any legitimately verified level at the time. He uploaded it without a verification video, saying he forgot to record, but this was not enough. It was around this time that people were starting to get pretty suspicious of this Cyclic guy and his legitimacy. He would then end up being employed to verify a remake of the Hell Zone by Sono924, an infamous impossible level from 1.4. He would verify this level, and people immediately realized that the verification video was cut in many places, similar to Neptune before. After this, everything would come out. Cyclic soon confessed to hacking everything, from Cataclysm to Sonic Wave to the Hell Zone. It is likely that the way he was able to pass off his completion as legit is by speed hacking. You see, by slowing down the game, it becomes a lot easier, and you can then speed up the footage to make it look legit. The only problem was that back then, most speed hacking tools were not able to slow down the music as well, and so the pulsing of orbs and things were far off the rhythm of the music. But if you were able to slow down the music, then it is way less noticeable, and this is likely how Cyclic hacked Cataclysm. Noctofly was well known in 2.1 for his extreme star grinding skill, topping the in-game leaderboard. He also beat several hard levels for the time, such as Sekupin Hell, Yetagarasu, and most famously, he claimed to have verified Zafkiel by Darwin. However, many of his completions were very suspicious. For starters, in his Sekupin Hell completion, during the 76% duel, when he clicks to move his wave, his UFO mysteriously doesn't move, despite the fact that this is not a two-player duel. Very suspicious indeed.
The UFO isn't making any movement.
We passed it off as a glitch, but this did not convince very many people. He also interestingly got a run of 50 to 100 on Black Blizzard recorded, because apparently the first half was lost.
Only like the last 50% of the video still exists.
It was also pointed out that in his Artificial Ascent completion, which he beat on the first attempt, he had a lot more jumps than Blast CFB, who also beat it on the first attempt.
Both of these players completed Artificial Ascent on their first attempt.
Although the two most dubious things that were found were that Noctofly had made a clear cut in his Zafkiel verification video.
When you start a level, the background always starts in the same place. You probably put a start position somewhere in the middle of the level.
As seen with background changing positions from where it should be, as we saw with Neptune earlier, and also the find that he had been autoing with the blue pads in some of his gameplay due to how he interacted with the yellow gravity portal as the wave. This was all also compacted into a video by Riot on Mobbleboy's channel at the time, and this was one of the dominoes that led to Noctofly's eventual confession. Noctofly was leaderboard banned, and apparently RobTop even changed his name to Hacktofly. ToshDeluxe is a name that you probably haven't thought about in years. While he started his GD career showcasing impossible levels with semi-autos, he would soon try to prove himself as a player. The first time he was noticed for his skill was when he completed Bloodbath on November 30th, 2016. However, there was a specific event that he is infamous for now. In April of 2017, he would upload his supposed verification of a level called Devil Vortex, which was placed at number 5 on the demon list shortly after. But this completion was suspicious to some people. Many people made videos explaining their suspicions back in 2017, a little bit after the verification, and Tosh would respond, and a lot of the community was actually on his side here. Tosh would respond to these accusations, and a lot of the community was actually on his side in the beginning. However, new accusations would soon be made by a well-known figure today. This video had a lot of convincing evidence, such as the claim that there were random saws above the level, hypothesizing that they were put there in order to cover up the object count, being changed by blue pads to auto the hardest parts of the level. If you use low detail mode, blue pads do not give an effect when used. The reason he would need to do this is because he actually showed the amount of objects prior. And so if he put blue pads to auto parts, then it would stand to reason that that's why he put random saws above the level, in order to balance out the object count. Tosh would respond to this with his own video, where he would mostly dodge the main accusations, and after that his public opinion would suffer. There was a lot of back and forth, but almost everyone would be convinced when a video was uploaded to Diamond Splash's channel, who was a top player at the time in 2018, in which him and his friends would lay down all of the accusations against Tosh. They would show that it is extremely likely that Tosh semi-autoed the level with a map of every pad you would need, and that it perfectly adds up to the amount of saws and blocks above the level.
54, which is 16, the following wave, which is 15, and the last wave without the last spam, which is 12, you get exactly 54.
They also pointed out that Tosh's wave movements are inhuman in many clips, further supporting the blue pad case.
On every click.
This was also not helped by the fact that Tosh did not show himself uploading the level in his video. Along with this, they found that not only was Tosh dodging accusations in his responses, but he was almost certainly lying about his final attempt counts. This really showed a lot of people that Tosh was a hacker. You may have noticed the kind of language I'm using. Likely, and probably, and almost definitely. This is because there was technically no rock-solid evidence, and that is the main reason that he wasn't banned off the list or anything. This also made it easy for him and his fans to deny everything through plausible deniability. However, the story came to an end when conclusive evidence was finally found by someone named Cyclic, and they showed that when Tosh's wave moved, there would be weird particles that were proven to only appear when using blue pads to auto. Endlevel is a well-known name even today, as he has been involved in many big projects in the community, such as Arctic Lights, Cognition, and Deimos. However, he also used to be a well-known player, such as with his verification of Arctic Lights. He would first end up doing some hacking with the relatively unknown event of him hacking Allegiance, claiming to be the first victim, but this kind of flew under the radar. He was actually considered to be a pretty good player, as he claimed to beat levels such as Sonic Wave and Erebus back when they were pretty high on the list. However, Endlevel quit the game in June 2018, and this would make him fade from the public eye of the community for a bit. However, a name already mentioned, ToshDeluxe, would upload a video exposing Endlevel for hacking all of his major completions. Endlevel told his friends on Discord how he speed hacked his big completions with a very complex method that allowed him to get away with it. He would share this with his friends, such as with Crazen, another controversial figure. This is it here. This complex method is of course shocking, and due to Tosh's video, Endlevel was exposed and his major completions shown to be fake. Bo, or Bo, was well known for being a prominent challenge creator and grinder in 2020, and he made and verified many difficult challenges, such as D and Bear Grylls. However, what he is most famous for today is creating Very Subo Challenge, otherwise abbreviated as VSC, brutal challenge that not only was the hardest back then, but it still is now in 2025. Bo then, shockingly, released a verification video, and VSC was placed at number 1 on the challenge list. But then when people looked further into the video, they realized something. In the video, although it is low quality, at several points, Bo appears to be going through Spike. After many people made many accusations, Bo did eventually end up confessing, as he had been caught. He admitted to using a hack that made spikes harmless, and lowered the video quality to hide it. VSC was promptly taken off the list. Of course, we all know the story of SpaceUK, and if you don't, we'll get back under your rock. SpaceUK began playing the game in 2020, of course completing Decode as his first demon, and he remarkably jumped all the way up to Windy Landscape as his second, and then Layak. He supposedly beat Cataclysm after his fail in the last wave, and he then went on to jump all the way up to Wazarada, a level around Yatagarasu difficulty, a top 20 at the time. This was no doubt very impressive, but what came next was him beating the Golden, the disputed number 1 demon. This was already very impressive, but then he verified Slaughterhouse, a level I probably don't have to tell you about. Back then, this was kind of like entering a new era of difficulty. If this wasn't enough, he would then dominate the Pointer Grid stats viewer for about 2 years, of course winning Best Player 2 years in a row. It would be around the time that he claimed first victor on Acheron in 2023, the newest #1 demon verified by Zoink, that something would happen. The demon list had banned a guy named MSG for using this strange hacking method, so they investigated other people and found something strange. You see, you can record a macro using a third-party program to complete a level in practice, and then replay the inputs to showcase the level. In a video uploaded by Paco, or otherwise known as Zoe, verifier of one of the top list demons, Cyclic, and a demon list moderator uploaded a video. She made the claim that SpaceUK was using a macro in many of his completions, and then clicking over it to make it seem legit. This was proven true when SpaceUK abruptly deleted his channel and issued an apology, in which he said he only hacked a couple of levels. It was found that he hacked almost all of them. After this, he would post a twitlonger in which he admits that he accidentally no-clipped the golden, and then just decided to keep on hacking to see how long he could get away with it for. It turns out his hardest legitimate completion was not Acheron, but Kinos. Still impressive, but nowhere near groundbreaking. Although, at least we got this.
Get when you lie and cheat, your career's dead beat, deleting your channel to avoid the heat.
These days, he'll occasionally pop up in a live stream, and half the people are telling him to leave, while the other half don't care. The worst part is, he actually could have been great if he didn't hack, but instead he chose to take the shortcut and take the spotlight away from all the legitimate players.